What's up, YouTube fam? I'm just waking up, so don't mind the hair. I'm just waking up. I literally just got up, just had a smoothie, and I'm up now. So today we're talking about starter kit to faith. And we ain't talking about your girl named Faith. We ain't talking about a girl you like named Faith. We are talking about your Christian faith, your faith in God. And today's gonna be a quick video. We're gonna bust it out. I wanna really talk about the surface of faith. And then on the next video, we're gonna really dive deeper into that faith and see how we can stretch it.
Someone who's patient, not who's impatient, and they've been waiting on what you should do. I know that this ain't who you used to be, and I know that this isn't what you need from me. Oh, I want
faith. Let's look at the definition. What does it say in the dictionary? It says a complete trust or strong belief in someone or something. And I think that's a great place to start, because where do I put my faith, or who do I put my faith in, which is God and Jesus Christ. But we can also look at what is faith, like what's not faith. And these are my three opinions, but you guys can take whatever you can out of this. Faith is not a head in the sand position. I think faith is so much deeper than that. You can't just act like, you know, let's say a situation that you're going through, if it's like really bad, that it's not happening. Yes, it is happening. It's reality. What's the point of we have this faith that drives us through that? Like, we're able to face reality, understanding that God has something so much more for us. And we could jump right to number two. Faith is not a feeling. Faith is not just this warm feeling that oh, I just feel good. It's so much deeper than that. That's what I'm talking about. We can also go to number three, which is faith is not just a shallow, positive mindset. And I think the reason I brought these three up is because when you think about a mindset, it's just your thinking. When you think about a head in the sand position, that's just your imagination. You're acting like something's not real. And the warm feeling is just your emotions on it. And I'm saying this because faith is walking. Faith is action. Faith is you walking in place. But when you're walking somewhere, you have to have a complete alignment of your spiritual, your mind, and your flesh, that they all have to be in agreement where you're going. And so it's not just emotion, it's not just a feeling. We could stop that right there. And it's not just a head in the sand position where you're just saying, oh, it's not really happening. Yes, it is really happening. Whatever you're going through is really happening. But it's understanding that we have a trust in God, that He will get us through and take us above. But we have to have that faith in Him to do that. And it's not just a positive mindset where it's just like, oh, I just have a positive mindset on something that's negative. Yes, that's good, but it's not just that. It's so much deeper than that. It has to be an alignment of everything going on. We talked about my opinion about faith. I don't think we could just stop there. Let's look at it biblically. What does the Bible say about faith? And I think a great place to start, just for let's say someone that doesn't read the Bible a lot, or even if you're just trying to understand faith a little more, let's start at Hebrews 11, because in Hebrews 11, that chapter, it really talks about faith. It breaks it down, and then it's also a connection to many other faiths. So let's say people in the Bible and what things they had to go through and how their faith was revealed. There's two scriptures I really want you guys to look at. It says, and it is impossible to please God without faith. Anyone who wants to come to Him must believe that God exists and that He rewards those who sincerely seek Him. And I think that's very important, because without a faith, how would you please God if you don't trust Him? If you don't put your complete trust into God, that means you're putting it in your own hands. So we can look at the New Testament and we can look at the Old Testament. If we look at the New Testament, a great person to look at when it comes to faith is the blind man. That he came to Jesus for healing. He's a blind man that has faith. He's not a person that has blind faith. And I think there's a big distinction between those. Because let's say you're going through something and he's blind, so that's what he's going through. That's what's troubling him. But he has faith in God. It's not a blind faith. He understands that Jesus did miracles. He understood that the reason was there. He had a belief in that because he knows the work that Jesus has done. And I think there's a good distinction to look at. And we can also look in the Old Testament. There's three guys that we can look at: Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And those people were thrown through a fire. Like, think about it, you guys. They're thrown through a fire. But what they said before they were thrown into this fire is so important, because they told that there was a king at that time that was making everyone worship false gods. I think this is very important, because this is a true faith right now. The king said that he was going to throw whoever does not bow down to their gods in a fire. Like, think about that. Y'all about to be thrown in a furnace. But what these people say to him is so significant. They said that our God will see us through. That our God, if we have faith in God, that God will not allow us to get hurt. And so, guess what? The king tied them up and threw them in a fire. The result of that is that the guard who threw them in there got burned. But those 3 men that were thrown into the fire weren't burned at all. All it did was, let's say, burn off their clothes or whatever. But they were not burned. Action reveals faith, you guys. And you know, what action are we talking about? It's obedience to God's word and what God tells you to do in those moments, you know, that He'll tell you, you know, like just to step out on something, and which is truly, it's obedience. You're listening to what God is telling you in those moments. And the 3 men that they believed that what God was telling them, what God said that He will take care of them. So when they were thrown in the fire, they already had a complete trust in God, and so they were not hurt. So, and that really, you know, you think about faith. Faith is walking. Faith is action. It's not, as we talked about earlier, it's not a feeling. It's not just a mindset. It's not just acting like things are not real. It's actually walking it out, you guys. And this was, you know, we started talking about walking. It really started, I really started thinking about a question. And this is where I want to kind of slow down the video and really bring it to an end, so we can transition to the next video, where the next video we're going to talk about how to build your faith and how to really stretch your faith to bring it to a new level. But this is the question. It says that, what keeps people from wanting the impossible done or walking this faith, meaning referring to God doing the impossible in their life, or walking this faith and trusting in God? And these are a few things that I wrote down that really, they're good starting points for this conversation. And you guys can tell me what you guys have, but these are a few things I wrote down. It's commitment, scared to be all in and fail, self-sufficiency and wanting to do it on their own, or they're comfortable and don't want to be uncomfortable. This was the starter kit to faith. And this was just a surface perspective of faith, and we'll go deeper in the next video. But I really want to just help you guys really have a conversation about faith, and where's your faith, or where does your faith lie, or who do you put your faith in? And like I said, we ain't talking about your girl faith, we ain't talking about your relationship with faith, or this girl you like named Faith. We're talking about your faith in something, your faith in God. Hey guys, if you guys like this video, go ahead and put a like down there. Make sure you guys subscribe. Get people to subscribe, because this is not just for me. This is so you guys can get empowered and do things in your life, to be equipped and apply things to your life so you can grow in the places you need to grow. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're bringing it to a close. Be ready for the next video, because we're going to go deeper in faith. But hey, you can follow me on my social medias. There's some things that get posted on there, and that you can get empowered. Throughout your weeks, there's some things that get posted on there that are just going to empower you and bring you to new levels in your life. But go ahead and do that. I hope you guys have a great day, a blessed day, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
I want that, I need just that real love. That real love. That real love.